I knew the room would go quiet the second my father grabbed the microphone. He lived for moments like that, being the loudest person anywhere, especially when the attention was supposed to be on me. But even I didn't expect what he said next. "Raise your glass," he boomed. "To the daughter who finally found someone desperate enough to marry her." And the room laughed. That harsh, ugly kind of laughter that hits harder than the words themselves. My throat tightened, but I held my smile in place. I've learned how to keep myself together in public, even when someone is trying to break me. But my fiancé, he didn't laugh. He didn't even flinch. Instead, he walked to the projector, tapped his phone, and said quietly, "Let's talk about what you did instead." And in that moment, everything I'd been planning slid into place. There was a time when I thought my father was just strict, a man who believed insults were motivation and criticism was love. When I got a good job, he said it must have been a diversity hire. When I bought my apartment, he asked which man paid for it. When I brought home the man I wanted to marry, he said he looked like someone who settles. I spent years bending myself into shapes that might finally make him proud. But the truth was simple: my father didn't want a daughter. He wanted a reflection of his own greatness. And I stopped being that reflection the moment I fell in love. Ethan saw me every flaw, every bruise, every scar my father left with his words, and he stayed. For the first time, I thought I had escaped the man who spent his life tearing down anything that I touched. But villains don't retire, they reload. It all began with the accountant my father forced on us. Family should handle family money, he'd said. But things didn't add up. Numbers that shifted. Transfers labeled as routine, expenses I didn't recognize. When I asked questions, I got smirks, deflection, and condescending pats on the shoulder. Then one night, while preparing wedding documents, I found a signature that wasn't mine. A contract tying my finances to a debt that wasn't mine, his debt. And a message from him to the accountant: "She won't notice, she never does." My first instinct was to cry, my second was to confront him. But my third, the one that saved me, was silence. I didn't say a word, I just started planning. I pulled back emotionally, watching him like a specimen behind glass. I saved everything, every message, every forged document, every smug thing he said when he thought he still had control over me. I hired my own attorney under the excuse of working on a prenup. I found a forensic accountant who specialized in uncovering hidden fraud. And that's when I learned the most important part: if I got married before the debt officially hit the system, I'd be legally responsible for it. But if I exposed everything after the wedding, in front of witnesses, the fraud would be undeniable and I'd be protected. So I planned everything down to the second. Ethan knew pieces of the plan. He never tried to stop me. He just asked, "Are you sure?" And I was. We replaced my father's accountant with a federal investigator pretending to be one. We tracked every illegal transfer. We gathered enough evidence to destroy my father professionally, socially, and legally. All I needed was the perfect moment to reveal it. And my father handed that moment to me wrapped in a joke. The projector flickered on, my father's smirk disappeared. Documents filled the screen: bank statements, signed forms, emails, his emails. The laughter in the room died instantly, like someone had cut the air. "This," Ethan said calmly, "is what her father has been doing behind her back, forging her signature, trying to dump his debt onto her and laughing about it." Gasps, whispers, shifting seats, no one knew where to look. Then the investigator stepped forward. "Mr. Tariq, you'll need to come with us." My father's face twisted. "You think she outsmarted me?" "She's nothing." I stepped toward him. "No," I said quietly. "I just stopped trying to make you proud." He was escorted out while shouting my name like he still owned it. But he didn't, not anymore. Hours later, when everything finally calmed down, Ethan wrapped his arm around me and asked, "Are you okay?" For the first time in my life, I didn't have to fake anything. "I'm free," I said. And I meant every word. My wedding didn't go the way I imagined. It went better. Because I didn't just marry the man I loved, I also buried the man who tried to break me. And as the doors closed behind my father, I raised my glass and whispered to myself, "To the daughter who finally saved herself."